EX6 provides two different ways to export modules from a file, which include default export and the named export. When you observe the screen, you will realize that we exported this component as a default export. Alright, so default export allows us to export a module and specify any name to that module whenever you want to import it. So since we exported the demo component as a default export, over here we will be able to name it anything. Alright, so let's take for example, I'm just going to wipe this off and then I'm going to do greet component. And here we also have to do the same. We have to render greet component. Check it out. Everything is working as expected. So this can only work when you make use of default export. Another important point that you have to keep in mind is that there is only a single default export per module. Okay, so over here, right in this component, we will not be able to have a default export anymore. You can only have one default export in a module. Sounds good? Beautiful. Now, the next in line is the named export. Named export are useful to export several values. And during the import, one will be able to use the exact same name to refer to the corresponding value. Let me show you quickly. So over here, if we want to use the named export, all we have to do is to highlight the default over here and then wipe it off. This has been transformed to named export. So when you save, on the browser, here is the complaint. It is trying to say that the greet component does not exist. Go back to VS Code, head on to the app.js, and then we have to use the exact same name of the module. And over here, the name of the module is demo component. Head on to the app. So to work with the named export, we have to wrap up the exact same name in a curly bracket. And right here, we are going to have a curly bracket. And then I'm just going to wipe this off. Right within the curly bracket, we have to precisely import the module by its name. And the name is demo component. Having done this, we also have to import the exact component over here. Highlight and wipe it off. And then I'm going to do demo component. Check it out on the browser. Everything is working as expected. I love it. Alright, so to recap, when using the default export, you would be able to specify any name to it when you want to import it. And you can only have one default export per module, compared to the named export where we can be able to export several values from a module. And during import, one will be able to use the exact same name to refer to the corresponding value. This is all for now. See you in the next lecture. Stay focused and always take care.